What's going on, everybody? This is 13 with Superior Mobile by 13, and I'm actually really excited about this set of headlights that I wrapped up today. First of all, they are for a Nissan Frontier, the most ridiculous range of years ever. I think this is like a 99 to 2020, but this particular set is for a 2012 Nissan Frontier. The owner, Gary, is the original purchaser and owner of the vehicles, so he has had this truck for the truck's entire lifespan, which is really exciting. So there's a sort of a sentimental attachment to a vehicle, and that of course resonates rather strongly with me, since I always believed that your vehicle is more than just a mode of transportation. It's kind of an art form, it's a way of self-expression, blah blah blah. So on this particular build, by the time I finally got on the phone with Gary to figure out what he wanted, he of course referenced another previous build that I had done that he had seen on YouTube, and he said, I want that exact build. The funny part is he's the first customer who actually questioned me when I said I don't do the same build twice. He goes, well, why not? And the idea is that what I do here are one-of-one creations, so I can't guarantee no one else is going to try and replicate my builds. However, I only build each design one time, and that is the certificate of authenticity from yours truly, that the level of attention, the detail, and craftsmanship, and specific combination of parts is just for you, and that's the whole point. So, this build is unique. Gary and I spent some decent amount of time on the phone going back and forth with ideas to figure out exactly what he wanted and what we could do. So on this particular build, we do have the NAC paint code. That is an OEM paint, so this is going to match his truck very beautifully. The whole bezel is all painted. The inside of the turn signal bowl is painted. However, you can notice that the reflector bowl and the shroud is still left in the chrome, and the idea was that there's still going to be a bunch of chrome on the front of the truck, so it just adds a nice contrast and a bit of a floating headlight sort of look to it. It is the same shroud as the other build because he loved the look of the halo and the sequential strip above it so that it would look like it continued on. And this one did retain the OEM amber reflectors. So I will admit I was a little hesitant on doing some amber reflectors because I hate amber, but I will say that if the only other option is to smoke them out, having black reflectors in a housing that is red and chrome really honestly wouldn't have looked that good. I mean, it might not have looked bad, but I would say it looks about the same as the amber, and if anything, the amber just kind of blends in and it looks factory. So I'm actually really okay with this result, and I'm really happy that that's what he wanted, that's what he knew he wanted, and he insisted upon it, and I got the experience of building something that I wouldn't have necessarily picked out myself. So I always love that sort of meeting of the minds between a client and myself. One other thing that we did on this, which you aren't really going to be able to tell, but the reason that they're like extra shiny, you keep seeing the reflection of my light in the shop there, is because these have an exterior clear coat. So what that means is that I clear coated the outside of the housing, the entire thing, and so that prevents the plastic from getting any UV damage, and it gives an extra protective layer against road debris, tailpipe exhaust, rock chips, stuff like that, you know? The plastic holds up pretty decent. However, we are all familiar with the yellowing and fading and chipping and cracking of aftermarket housing, so this is a really nice insurance plan, and it actually does make it a little bit shinier, if you can believe that. So instead, I'm going to stop talking and turn some things on, and we're going to go, oh my goodness, look at that. So we've got the Switchback Halo is now on, as well as that sequential switchback strip along the top. As you can see, the shroud provides a little hat for the halo, preventing it from being a full complete circle. However, that strip sort of kind of mirrors across the top, which gives it a nice completed look. Now what you really want to see is the sequential effect right here. I've got it on a relay that's just giving us a nice pulsed output, and you can see what it looks like. It's cool, we are happy, and then when you remove that, they both come back onto white. For full disclosure, whether or not the video really picks it up, the halo is a slightly cooler white than the sequential switchback strips. If they were just switchback strips, they would match perfectly. However, they are slightly off, so if you're going to be super particular, I would not recommend combining these products in the same build. Also, you may have noticed that when I removed the turn signal input from the blinkers, then it takes a slightly different amount of time for one to come on than the other. Again, that's just the nature of the beast, and hopefully that would be the least of your concerns when you have such a beautiful set of headlights. We're also going to put an LED switchback bulb inside these assemblies right here. This is where the original turn signal was, so he's going to have a very prominent turn signal on the front of this truck, which is always a good thing. Now last but not least, of course, let's discuss the actual headlight output itself. I am running my typical 50-watt setup, which is going to give us a nice pure white output. There's a lot of light. It is a bi-xenon assembly, so it is both the high beam and the low beam in one assembly right there. And if I put it up on the wall, you can see that beautiful output pattern that you should come to know and love and expect from an MD2S projector assembly. Extremely bright and street legal output, which is superb. I had a really good time building these, but I also had a really good time connecting with Gary, as he is an electrical engineer and I am a mechanical engineering graduate, so it's always fun to be able to talk to people similarly minded and discuss a common interest and passion, which is, of course, cars and lighting. Pricing and product information for this particular build will be in the video description, so if you have any questions regarding those topics, please look there first. As I said earlier, every build is custom made to order, so I do not do the same build twice. But the whole idea is that if you like what you see here and you're interested on a build yourself, by all means, shoot me an email and I can talk to you about trying to get you into a future build queue. This is 13 with Superior Mobile by 13. I thank you so much for watching this video. Have yourselves a wonderful evening, and I shall talk to you later. See ya!